everyone. Got a little post-accident update. For some reason, the other lady, that 80-year-old lady next to me, I asked the police to give her family my contact info. Just so they could at least call me up. I could talk to them. Since we're both victims of the same drunk driver, but they did not. Her family did not call me. Instead, I did get a very interesting call from her insurance company, learning that I was on a sport bike. So they were really being jerks about it. How big a bike is it? How powerful is the engine? How fast does it go? And then the final question was, what were you doing that caused the drunk driver to swerve and hit our client? And it's like, okay, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not talking to you guys anymore. And ooh, check it out, 73 Corvette. Nice. Beautiful. Triumph. Okay. So I was a little pissed off at her company for pulling that crap. So I don't know if it was just the insurance company pulling it, or if after talking to the family, if the family initiated trying to blame me for it, since the drunk driver responsible doesn't have any insurance. So it's probably best I don't talk to her family. But so anyhow, good day for a ride. So anyhow, the drunk driver responsible, she had her preliminary hearing. I guess that's where, so she's been in jail for the past 5 weeks. So I went to that, and it was kind of weird. So basically all they do is, they brought in her and hold on. They brought in her and about 10 other prison inmates. And I guess what the preliminary was is from the time she faced her charges of arrests, her attorney has was it 30 days for them to prepare or something. So anyhow, she was formally charged with 4 felony charges. So basically, her defender was just some little public guy, and he was just using the excuse of, oh, well, she's a mother of 3, and she lost her job, and she's trying to short sell her house, and she was actually supposed to close on a deal 8 days before she was arrested. So she had to postpone that. Postpone that. So she needs to get out of jail so she can sell her house. That quarter kind of snuck up on me. I need to pay attention. So he was trying to use that excuse. So she's 49 years old, a mother of 3, and then, so it's really kind of, whatever her bail was, she couldn't afford it to get out. So she's been in jail the whole time. So then it was the prosecutor's turn, and he goes, well, this lady obviously doesn't learn her lesson. Age has nothing to do with maturity. This is her 5th DUI in the past 7 years, and the second one that's caused an accident. That's why she's had her license revoked. It was not suspended, it was revoked. That's why insurance company completely canceled their coverage. So you're saying, it's obvious she doesn't learn from her mistakes. She's just gonna, if she's let out, she's just gonna get drunk again and go in, somebody else's car, just like she did the last time. So I'm like, yeah, go for it, get her, keep her in jail. I'm totally for it. And then he sits there and says, well, I've been talking to the victims, the victim's family a lot, and they're really requesting, they wrote a written request to the judge not to reduce her bail, and she's really injured, and she had to spend 10 days in the hospital. And so I'm sitting there thinking, well, it's obvious the attorney, the prosecutors have talked to the other old lady, but they haven't talked to me. So I'm kind of getting a little irked at that. And then so right at the end, he's like, the last 2 seconds of his little speech, he's like, oh yeah, and there's also a motorcycle involved in this accident. Not like a motorcycle was hit, but just there was a motorcycle involved. So I was kind of, like, well, shit, So I didn't say anything or burst out. I'm just kind of sitting there. I was like, well, I kind of wish you guys would have contacted me. I could have written a letter to the judge, saying, hey, I'm pissed off this lady. Keep her in jail or keep her bail or whatever it is really high. So anyhow, the judge was like, so they gives the defense one more chance to, rebut what the prosecutor said. And he's like, well, I just want to say again, she's 49 years old. She's a mother of 3. And then for the first time, the judge looks up and goes, I'm sorry, of these 3 children, how many of these children are living in the house with her that are dependent on her every day? None, Your Honor. Like, what's the age of the youngest? 19. So if none of these children are at home, why are you trying to give me this hardship case to reduce her bail? So the judge was just not taking any of the defender's BS. And then the judge says, as far as I know, real estate agents do most of the work. They could bring all the paperwork into county jail and she can sign it. So don't give me this she's in jail so she can't sell her house as an excuse. Says bail remains where it is. So I don't know what the amount was, but she obviously can't afford it. So I'm like, yay, I like this judge. Fuck yeah, keep this bitch in jail. So he, so that was it. So they, the deputies escort her back to the holding area, and so the prosecutor guy, I guess he was done. That was his last one. He only did like 2 out of the 11. So as he's leaving, I kind of follow him out, and I'm like, hey, excuse me, I'm actually the motorcyclist that was involved. And I'm, kind of curious as to why nobody contacted me from your office. He says, well, damn, how slow am I going? Sorry, folks, I'll ride slow when I'm storytelling. Getting a fucking train of cars behind me. Okay, so anyhow, he's saying, well, the only time we really talked to her was when we visited her in the hospital. But now that it's got a trial date set, we'll be contacting you and have you filling out a report or so on. So I'm like, okay, just... I'm kind of a little irked at your comment saying, oh yeah, there was a motorcycle also involved. I wasn't involved. I was fucking almost hit by this bitch head on. If it hadn't been for my helmet, I'd be fucking dead and you'd be doing murder charges against her. So, there's 2 victims in this. Don't forget that. And he's like, oh, okay, don't worry, we'll contact you. It's like, yeah, right. I'll hold my breath on that. So anyhow, she goes to trial early October. She has 4 felony charges against her. And the defense attorney was saying, well, she's going to plead guilty to all of them, so why don't you go ahead and let her out on a reduced bail? So I have a feeling that she's going to be pleading not guilty to try and fight those. Idiot. So that's all. That's the update. It's kind of curious. Kind of cool to sit in a courtroom, see all that crap. I do know when they say it starts at 1:15, nobody shows up till 1:30. And the judge doesn't bother coming in till about 1:45, 1:50. So I won't be as early next time, but so anyhow. Alright, later.